Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar of our 2022 season. My name is Dan McDonald, Sales and Marketing Development Associate with Baxter Media, and I'm here with Olivia Howell, one of our student finalists from Ryerson University. Now, just before we get into things, I'd like to give an enthusiastic shout out to our program sponsors this year. We have Manulife, Propel, powered by Tourism HR Canada, ACTA, the Association of Canadian Travel Agencies, TIO, the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario, and SCAL Canada. Thank you for helping to make BSAP a continued success. I'd also like to let everyone know that at the tail end of this webinar, you'll have the chance to submit a question or two to Olivia. To do so, please type them into the Q&A section of a public chat box or the chat box itself, which are both towards the right-hand side of the screen, and those questions will be answered in due time. And remember, this is a live session, so your patience is appreciated during any technical difficulties that might arise. And without further ado, I will now hand things over to Olivia. Welcome, Olivia. Thanks for being here.
Thanks very much for having me.
And I'll let you go right into your screen share, and you can get started whenever you're ready.
Alrighty. Hi, everyone. My name is Olivia Howell, and I'm a fourth year in the Hospitality and Tourism Management program here at Ryerson University based in Toronto. So for my Baxter presentation, I'm going to be focusing on the Galapagos Islands. I'm just going to do a quick introduction of the destination and some tourism trends in order to point the presentation in the right direction. So the Galapagos Islands are an archipelago of volcanic islands off the coast of Ecuador, which are designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Center and often referred to as a unique living museum and showcase of evolution. These islands gained a lot of prominence because of the vast variety of wildlife that exists there that were studied by Charles Darwin. A main attractive feature of the Galapagos is the weather. Being on the equator, the temperatures are always comfortably warm without getting too hot. Their average temperatures range from 25 degrees Celsius in the cooler season from June to November and 30 degrees Celsius in the warmer months from December to May. With 21 total islands making up the archipelago, there are a vast number of sites and places to see, and the islands attract over 120,000 visitors every year. The Galapagos Islands are also governed by a special law that supports conservation and the preservation of its unique environment. I'm just going to do a quick overview of where we are discussing. The Galapagos Islands became Ecuador's first national park, with the most common reason to visit the Galapagos being its extraordinary wildlife. There are a multitude of animals that can only be found on the Galapagos Islands and nowhere else. These include the Galapagos tortoise, which are the largest living species of tortoise, with only about 15,000 of them still remaining today. Darwin's finch, which were studied by Charles Darwin, and subsequently inspired Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection following his visit to the islands in 1835. With the Charles Darwin Research Center that was built on the Santa Cruz Island in 1964 to continue the study of many interesting animals on the islands. Finally, the Galapagos fur seal. These seals are native to the area, but their population has been declining since the 1980s due to environmental factors like pollution, disease, and invasive species. The lack of human intervention with nature in the Galapagos means that most animals don't have any natural fear of humans and can be viewed from just a very short distance. Looking quickly at tourism trends right now, Euronews travel report stated that post-COVID travel will be focused more towards ecotourism so that travelers can feel better about themselves and their decisions. Furthermore, wellness tourism is on the rise, which doesn't mean detoxing or boot camps, but taking trips that make people feel better about themselves. Another trend in the post-COVID travel environment is meaningful travel that gives back to the planet, like engaging with local communities. Finally, people will be looking for more tailored travel and longer stays as people have been cooped up for so long. Many people are concerned for the communities around the world that were devastated by the lack of tourism due to the pandemic, and people want to do as much as they can to save these communities. The majority of these trends point to the fact that the Galapagos Island would meet the needs and wants of a traveler in a post-COVID environment, as the Galapagos Islands are a good example of a location that can provide eco and wellness tourism, as well as meaningful travel that can give back to the planet. With the choice destination meeting these needs, this could point to a high traveler demand, which would mean more money for travel agents. Switching now to what's in it for the travel agents, I'll be going over how traveling here can benefit travel agents and some tips for travel agents for clients. According to the Journal of Tourism Research, there are three main target markets that the Galapagos goes after. There is first the reward and escape tourists who have a high motivation related to nature and enjoy exploring the unknown and escaping their routine. The second target is the multiple motive tourist that has too many motivations to narrow down to specifics. But the final is the nature tourists who are solely driven by nature and the wildlife that can be seen in the Galapagos. I spoke with a few travel agents in order to understand the target markets that they deal with when planning trips to the Galapagos, and they spoke about the reward and escape tourist as being the main one they deal with, as they suggested that the market they deal with are very high budget with almost no financial or time constraints. This means that they have a lot of freedom when planning with this market and can often make a very good commission from them. With the vastness of activities that take place on the Galapagos, there are a multitude of ways for travel agents to make money from people traveling to the Galapagos Islands with them through booking fees and commissions on activities and flights. With the internet, many travelers are overwhelmed with an abundance of choices available to them. Travel agents would provide a foolproof way of booking and enjoying your trip. Travel agents would be the ideal way of traveling to the Galapagos, as it is quite a difficult trip to plan. Although not impossible to plan a trip to the Galapagos on your own, Galapagos trips can often be convoluted and require many aspects that would be much more easily handled by a travel agent. This is due to the remote nature of the islands, the rules and regulations that must be followed there because of preservation efforts and the availability of flights. With a location such as the Galapagos, a website like Expedia could not be properly utilized for planning a trip to the Galapagos, as it does not have the scope in order to plan the amount of trip aspects that would be expected. Utilizing a travel agent with a destination like this would allow the client to relax while also receiving a personalized trip that fits their needs. Travel agents would be the ideal way of traveling to the Galapagos, as it is quite a difficult trip to plan. Travel agents can help you work out everything you want to do on your trip prior to booking your flights, so you have a foolproof itinerary that is personalized to you. Sorry, lost my page. Travel agents. Why use an agent? Working out, agents can help you work out what you want to do prior to booking your flight, so everything you want to do is expected. Furthermore, there are a lot of different aspects that you have to look at, and with a travel agent, they can provide a much easier way of handling the multiple aspects. Furthermore, in case of emergencies, travel agents will always have a contingency plan ready to go in case there are any sickness or weather-based problems. You'll have someone to call to help you if there are any problems that they have direct access to airline distribution centers who can help you out of any problem before the client even knows that there is one. Finally, travel agents have amazing expertise about the destination that clients are visiting. The Galapagos are a very interesting destination that have a lot of rules regarding wildlife, and it has a rich history that travel agents can relate to you at any moment. Utilizing a travel agent can help the client understand the nuances of a destination and can act as an advisor to help find the best parts of the destination. Travel agents can make money in a variety of ways. Most commonly, the ways to make money are through charging booking fees for each component of the trip and the commission they make through booking with tour operators and other businesses along the way, like airlines, hotels, and activities. In terms of the Galapagos, travel agents can charge booking fees for flights from Quito, Ecuador to the actual islands, scuba diving and snorkeling excursions, hotel rooms, and boat tours on the island. After contacting many travel agents and not hearing back right away, I used industry averages to infer the average booking commission of 10 to 15% for things like cruise booking, flights, and tour operators. 2 travel agents actually did contact me back, but could not give me any further details of the actual commission they charged. He did explain, however, that the market for trips to the Galapagos are often not burdened by time or funding, meaning that trips can often be between $10,000 to $30,000, meaning travel agents, no matter the percent of commission, will be making very good money working with a niche market. He also explained that with these high budget markets, they often result in repeat business due to the personalization and details of the trip. The other travel agent I spoke to explained that her money came mostly from commissions from suppliers, as the suppliers are the ones that put together the tours and the cruises, and then commission is sent to the travel agent after the vacation is complete. A service fee is also added for flight reservations to and from Ecuador, meaning that there are a variety of streams and ways for travel agents to make money by having people travel to this destination. With the market that is interested in this destination, this should be very, very appealing to travel agents as they have the opportunity to receive high yield off of these trips and often get repeat visitors, meaning that this destination would be the ideal situation for a travel agent to begin working with. In terms of advice that travel agents can relay to their clients going to the Galapagos, there are a few things to keep in mind. Tell your clients to watch out for credit card scams, as there are a variety of fraud schemes in play in Quito due to the high amount of tourists that go every year. Encourage them to avoid paying with credit cards and instead use PayPal or wire transfer. It is also encouraged to inform guests of the many aspects of the entry process into the Galapagos, as a separate immigration card is needed to go from Quito to San Cristobal, which must be purchased at the Quito airport rather than prior to the client's trip. To continue, make sure your clients know that what they are getting into with a trip to the Galapagos, as it's not like traveling to an all-inclusive. Remember that the Galapagos are not a zoo. Animals and fish in the Galapagos are free, and if you're lucky, you will see them along the way. But wildlife must be treated with respect, and it must be understood that they have to keep their land safe and clean for them. Finally, travel agents should inform guests that flights for non-Ecuadorian citizens cost more. This is good for travel agents as they will make more money off the flight commission, but clients should be made aware of the differences. There are a multitude of travel operators that go to the Galapagos. Some of the most successful that are popular in Canada are Intrepid Travel, G Adventures, Via Adventures, and Exodus Travel. Intrepid currently has 29 trips to the Galapagos and provide a $200 upfront commission for agents, plus more when the booking is complete. G Adventures has 22 Galapagos trips, and Via and Exodus both operate 12 trips for a more high-budget market. These tour operators work with travel agencies to get clients to the Galapagos, and travel agents can then receive between a 10 to 15% commission of the trip price from these companies. These tour operators also diversify the different traveler segments that visit the Galapagos, as many of their trips are made for 18 to 29-year-olds, people with different budgets, families, and people who value sustainability. This diversification of the client base not only benefits the travel agents, as they have a new stream, but also because these clients who work with the agent through the tour operators may continue to work with the travel agent on future trips, thus furthering their client base. Looking now at the impacts of COVID-19 on the Galapagos, there are a few things that travelers and travel agents should keep in mind. Currently, to enter the Galapagos, you need to provide proof of vaccination or a negative PCR test or proof of COVID recovery, in addition to a traveler health status declaration form, in order to fly into Ecuador and from mainland Ecuador into the Galapagos. The Galapagos was hit hard early in the pandemic. Due to reliance on tourism, which completely collapsed in early 2020, the local economy was devastated. As a result, and through a tremendous public and private partnership, the Galapagos Islands were the first province in Ecuador to be immunized against COVID-19. As of May 2021, nearly the entire adult population of 30,000 people have received both doses of the Pfizer vaccine. And as of December 2021, nearly 63.3% of people have been fully vaccinated and 77% have been partially vaccinated. In order to enter the Galapagos, you will also need to purchase medical travel insurance, which will be discussed briefly. A Galapagos Transit Control Card and a Galapagos National Park entrance fee must also be purchased. The entrance fee is about $100 per person and must be paid in cash at the airport, meaning that it cannot be purchased by the travel agent prior to leaving. Finally, looking at travel insurance and its importance, with COVID-19 still active in many parts of the world, the possibility of trip cancellation or illness are extremely possible, meaning that travel insurance should be a vital part of your trip purchase and is mandatory when going to the Galapagos. Travel insurance provides travelers with a sense of security, safety, and comfort. It can offset the high medical costs associated with being ill while traveling outside of your province. And when you have travel insurance with trip cancellation benefits, you can get reimbursement for prepaid, non-refundable trip costs when you cancel for a covered reason. Travel insurance can also help with travel delay benefits and can reimburse you for additional accommodation or travel expenses due to a covered departure delay of 6 hours or more. Travel insurance can be purchased through the tour operator you are using or through a private company like TravelX or Manulife. And travel agents can make an average of 20 to 30% commission on travel insurance when purchasing through a private company. Thank you very much for listening and for your consideration. I'd like to thank Brian Farber and Michelle Gilberts for their help from the Travel Leader Network and my professor, Dr. Tom Griffin.
Thank you so much, Olivia. That was excellent.
Thanks.
We'll open it up to questions now, just in case anyone has any questions they'd like to ask to you, Olivia. And again, you guys can submit questions to the comments box or the chat box, which are both towards the right-hand side of the screen. And here's the first one. Olivia, what would you consider to be your dream job?
Well, the past few years, I've gotten really into sustainable tourism. So I think my dream job would be doing sustainable research for DMO, like Destination Toronto. Right now, at least. Things change really quickly, but definitely doing something with sustainable development of destinations.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. And Laura Bowman from Baxter Media says, thank you for a great presentation, Olivia. Why did you choose to present on the Galapagos Islands?
It's actually because I won an award last year and I got a trip to somewhere. I haven't taken it yet, but I am planning on going to the Galapagos myself. And so I started researching it a lot. And then when this opportunity came up, I was like, I might as well just learn more about it. So I actually am planning on going in a few months.
Amazing. Oh, yeah, I hope that happens. That'd be great. That's definitely a bucket list type of destination for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll allow him another minute or two, just in case anyone else has any questions they'd like to submit to Olivia. Here's another one. Olivia, if you were to travel there this year, what's the first thing you would do upon arrival?
If I were to travel there right now, I think I would definitely get on a boat almost immediately. I'm used to being near water for most of my life. And so living in Toronto, you don't get that as often except for Lake Ontario. So I would definitely get on a boat right away. Not a cruise ship, but just like a little boat and just kind of circle. I'd love to see what it's like there and interact with some of the wildlife.
Great answer. Okay, I do believe that's it for the submitted questions. So I would like to thank everyone that attended this webinar today. Thank you all so much for being here and for supporting the Baxter Student Ambassador Program in this 2022 season. And we're now in our 8th year of the program. And Olivia, thank you so much for your fantastic presentation. It was really great having you here virtually with us today.
Thanks very much for your consideration.
So me or one of my colleagues will be in touch over the next week or so. And yeah, we'll talk to you again very soon.
Thanks very much.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.